Lesson 2-3. As we finish up checking Lesson 2-2, we have a special assistant today. We don't know who he is. Sir, will you go to the board there, please, with your special marker? All right. Cole will now reread his answer to 24 written as a conditional.
If two lines lie in the same plane, then they are coplanar.
Nicely done. To go with that, could you write P arrow Q? Bigger. We have people. No. I like that arrow between the P and the Q. And if you write it too big, you're being a smart aleck. That's nice. This is good. That stands for if P, then Q, or in this case, if two lines lie in the same plane, then they are coplanar. My man Cole will now read the converse.
If they are coplanar, then two lines lie in the same plane.
To go with that, could you put Q arrow P? Because the converse trades them around. We need to ask Cole right now, do you feel the original was true?
Yes.
Can you put a little T to the right of the first one? I see little. Cole, do you feel the second one is true, the way you said it as a converse there?
Yes.
True for the second one also there. All right, Cole will now read the inverse of the original.
If two lines don't lie in the same plane, then they aren't coplanar.
Ooh. You have to now put down squiggle P, arrow squiggle Q. Oh yeah, that's a nice job. Squiggle P means not P. So this says, if not P, then not Q. Cole, do you feel like said that way, is it true?
Yeah.
He still thinks it's true. One more, Cole. The contrapositive, where you do everything at once.
If they're not coplanar, then two lines don't lie in the same plane.
Do you already know what you're going to do, son?
Not really.
What should he do? I'm sure. What should he do with his P's and Q's and squiggles and stuff? You have an idea, Michael?
I was going to say the sentence. Or the
Oh.
Oh, the next one.
Help him with what to write.
Squiggle Q, arrow, squiggle P.
Squiggle Q, arrow, squiggle P. You think it's true, Cole?
Yep.
Put another true there. All right. Since all four of those are true, no matter how we rearrange it, it's true both ways, front ways, backwards, inversed or conversed. We could write it all as just one statement. Way up at the top there, put P, double-ended arrow, Q, and a true. and erase everything else, because it covers it. That covers all of it. Look in your books, peek at page 99. That's called a biconditional. If you can write it true both ways, if it's true written both ways, you can just say P double-ended double arrow Q. How would you read that, Michael?
P double and where?
Like, if it was a single arrow, I would say if P then Q. Do you happen to know how to read that?
If P then Q? No.
Anybody? Told us.
P if and only if Q.
This says P if and only if Q. It kind of says if P then Q and if Q then P are both good. It says it all in one shot. Grab your packet. In case you weren't here today, we have a packet which you should have picked up if you're a responsible student. I am on the first 2-3 page of the packet. And that number 1, you see that little X in there? That means my software failed and didn't really print it. So I'm going to number 2. If you see that little X there, that means the software failed. So you don't have to do number 1. But number 2 says if two lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles, then the lines are perpendicular. First we have to decide if the converse is true. So I'm going to ask Levi to state the converse of this.
Which one?
Number 2 on the page that has a little 25 at the bottom.
2-3.
About 5 pages in there. Number 2.
If one is perpendicular, then two lines intersect.
So I'm going to ask Kai to decide if that's true, stated as a converse. If two lines are perpendicular, do they form congruent adjacent angles? He says yes, that's right. So this is one of those. This is one that original and converse are both true. So we're going to rewrite it. Grab your pencil. We're going to say two lines intersect to form adjacent congruent angles if and only if, that's the good part, the lines are perpendicular. Now I'm looking at the next one, number 3. Olivia, it says if two angles are right angles, then they're congruent. If we do the converse, it would say if two angles are congruent, then they're right angles. Do you think that's true?
It could be. Well, because there could be like different, it doesn't have to be just a right angle. It could be-
Okay, so it doesn't have to be true?
Right.
So it's not the same written the other way?
Well, it is, but like, just because they're right angles if they were both right angles, then they are congruent, but they also could be like 65-degree angle and still be the same.
That's a good observation, so I can't just say if two angles are congruent, they're right angles.
Right.
I can't just say that, can I? So, we're not gonna do it on this one. The instructions say if the converse is true, combine them. So, we don't have to do that on this one, do we? Michael?
The converse isn't true.
That's what she's saying.
Well, she kind of said it.
Yeah. You saw it right away, right? Good job. So number 3, no biconditional. We don't write the if and only if because it's not reversible. Your assignment is going to be this whole packet. I believe there's 9 pages. But you can work on it together now and tomorrow. So if you're not gone, it's going to be no big deal. If you're gone today and tomorrow, you've got 9 pages of homework, sorry. All right, over and out.